In this Monster Hunter Wilds video, we're going to be taking a look at the Sword and Shield. This is another one of the 14 weapons in the game. We're going to be going through the combos, what they do, as well as some of the moves of the Sword and Shield and some of the changes that have come to the Sword and Shield in Monster Hunter Wilds. The Sword and Shield, as the name suggests, provides players with a very familiar feeling weapon in their hands, especially for those who are new to the Monster Hunter franchise. If you're a newcomer who's overwhelmed by the amount of weapons in the game, the Sword and Shield is a great choice for new players. The Sword and Shield is also a good all-around weapon that doesn't excel in either offense or defense, but provides hunters with good mobility, fast attack speed, and defensive capabilities all in one weapon. As such, the Sword and Shield is the perfect example of easy to get into and difficult to master in the Monster Hunter series. Although not much has changed with the Sword and Shield in Monster Hunter Wilds, there are some additions to the weapon moveset which will make veterans excited, which we will cover in this guide. So first, let's take a look at the combos for the Sword and Shield in Monster Hunter Wilds. The first combo is the basic combo, which is a series of slashes, but one really great thing about this combo is you can easily adjust your position while performing this combo if you need to move around a little bit. You perform this combo by pressing Y, 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 or triangle, 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 triangle. The second combo is the powerful combo, which can end in two different finishers depending on the opening, but the beginning is performed by pressing B, 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 or circle, circle, circle. You can then either finish with the Spinning Reaper, which is Y plus B on Xbox or triangle plus circle on PlayStation, and is a quicker finisher, while the Charged Chop, which you can do if you perform by holding Y plus B or holding triangle plus circle, is slower, but deals more damage, which is more useful for when you have a bigger opening of attack. Note that you can also follow Spinning Reaper with a Charged Chop for even more damage if you have an even longer window to attack. The next combo is the Monster Stunning combo, and it's very useful for stunning monsters with a series of shield bashes. Perform this combo, you press forward on the left stick plus B, then B again, then B again, then Y plus B. Or on PlayStation, forward plus circle, then circle, then circle, then triangle plus circle. The fourth combo is the Charged Slash combo, which begins by pressing back on the left stick and holding B on Xbox, or back on the left stick and holding triangle on PlayStation, while in focus mode. If you land the attack, you can then follow up with different finishers depending on what you want to do, but if you miss it, your combo will end there. Jumping Slash allows hunters to easily mount monsters, while a well-timed falling bash onto the monster's head builds a moderate amount of stun. If you're looking for maximum damage, you can go into the Plunging Thrust, which is Y plus B on Xbox or triangle plus circle on PlayStation. The last combo is the Perfect Rush combo. A Perfect Rush combo can be performed while in focus mode by pressing back on the left stick plus B on Xbox, or back on the left stick plus circle on PlayStation to evade a monster's attack, and then by pressing Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation to jump forward and attack with Leaping Slash, followed by another Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation into the Perfect Rush attack. Perfect Rush's combo can also be extended past the final Perfect Rush attack by pressing Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation again to perform a Scaling Slash, vaulting you into the air, and can then be finished with a Jumping Slash, Falling Bash, or Plunging Thrust, just like the Charged Slash combo. Note that you must land the final hit of the Perfect Rush combo in order to be able to extend the combo further, or the combo will end. And note that you will not find Scaling Slash in the Sword and Shield controls, because it's just not there. Things you should note about the Sword and Shield. When using the Sword and Shield, you can do an environment-based attack that varies according to the terrain, much like the previous games in the franchise. These attacks range from leaping at monsters, allowing hunters to mount them, to sliding underneath monsters. Hunters will get used to these environment-based attacks as you play the game, and you'll have to play around with them in order to fully master them. The Sword and Shield is the only weapon in the game that allows players to use items from their inventory without needing to sheath their weapon first. Also, the Sword and Shield allows players to fire the Slinger without sheathing, which makes it unique among the weapons and a must-mention in this guide. Next, let's take a look at some of the changes to Sword and Shield and some of their new additions. The end of the basic combo has been replaced with Diagonal Rising Slash and a Diagonal Chop in Monster Hunter Wilds, which allows hunters more mobility compared to previous iterations of Monster Hunter. Combined with the new Focus mode from Monster Hunter Wilds, this combo allows hunters to easily reposition and get out of harm's way, as moving in any direction while using this combo will cause you to step in that direction. This allows Sword and Shield users to have a super agile playstyle where the hunter can reposition on the fly. The Charged Chop, which is performed by holding Y plus B on Xbox or holding triangle plus circle on PlayStation, is a completely new move that's been added to the Sword and Shield in Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's a devastating move that charges the sword and swings it before jumping up and stabbing downward. This move is very useful because if the initial swing of the sword hits the monster, the rest of the attacks still count as hits, even if you're a little ways away from the monster and not exactly on top of it. Perfect guards are also a new addition to Monster Hunter Wilds, and since the Sword and Shield has a shield, they will have access to perfect guards as well, and triggering a perfect guard will allow you to negate all knockback and even allow you to follow up with a counterattack with a variety of different options. One of those options is a new addition called the Counter Slash, which is performed by tapping Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation after a perfect guard, which is a spinning slash similar to the Spinning Reaper. Use it guard and triggering perfect guards is not an easy feat to master because in order to perform a perfect guard, you must guard at the exact moment of a monster's attacks, and it can take you some time to learn what those attacks are from facing those monsters, but it's extremely valuable because it's a great way to trigger power clashes, and this should be one of the things that you're striving to do when using this weapon. After winning a power clash, you can follow up with either a Spinning Reaper or an Empowered Charge Chop, or you can even start your monster's stunning combo if you want to try and stun the monster. With the added Focus Strike mechanic, the Focus Strike Vital Stab, which is RB on Xbox or R1 in PlayStation while in focus mode, has you stab forward and latch onto the monster when you hit a wound. After this, you can either follow up with a Falling Slash, which is Y on Xbox or Triangle on PlayStation, where you rip downwards and cause a multi-hit attack like the Charged Chop for good damage, or perform an Upwards Bash, which is B on Xbox or Circle on PlayStation with your shield, and fly into the air. For the Sword and Shield, the Secret does offer a normal mounted attack and a jumping dismounted attack, which is performed by Y plus B on Xbox or Triangle plus Circle on PlayStation. In addition to those attacks, you can also stick out your blade while sprinting by pressing B on Xbox or Circle on PlayStation to deal a multi-hit attack to the monster. Final tips. The Sword and Shield is a very versatile weapon that offers the option to deal both cut and blunt damage to the monster. While using this weapon, learning the perfect guard timings and determining when to block and when to evade will help you master the Sword and Shield. Part of this is simply knowing the attack patterns of the monster you are facing. Hunters looking to maximize their damage with this weapon should focus on learning the Charged Chop timings, backstep, and timings of Perfect Rush and follow-up attacks, as these are the keys to successfully unleashing the Sword and Shield's damage potential. Also, depending on your position, you can use the monster stunning combo to deal blunt damage to the head and stun the monster, or the basic combo to try and sever its tail. Learning where to position and what combos to use when in those positions will help you with breaking parts and severing tails, and is one of the focuses of playing Sword and Shield. For secondary weapons, there are some options depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking to main the Sword and Shield and be the ultimate jack of all trades and support player, then the perfect secondary weapon for you would be the Hunting Horn, as it can also provide you and the team with buffs that will help you adapt to whatever situation calls for in the moment. If you're looking for the most agile hunter and be able to break any parts, then the Dual Swords works wonders as a secondary weapon since both weapons provide excellent mobility, with the Sword and Shield providing access to blunt damage and the Dual Swords with the ability to sever tails more quickly. If you're looking to bolster the defensive capabilities of the Sword and Shield, the Lance will be the best secondary weapon for you since it has the best defense in the game, and you also have better reach for the trade-off of a slower playstyle. So that wraps up our Monster Hunter Wilds Sword and Shield guide. I hope you found some useful things in here. We didn't cover every single move for the Sword and Shield. Many of these are easy to pick up just from playing the weapon. But we did want to cover the basic combos, and we also wanted to cover some of the changes for those returning players out there. And as always, if you have tips for other players playing Sword and Shield, maybe something I forgot to mention in this video, you can leave them in the comments. Or if you have further questions about the Sword and Shield, maybe something I didn't answer in the video, you can leave them there in the comments as well, and I will try and answer them as soon as I can.